What's up, guys? It's Michael, back with my 1978 Cadillac Eldorado. And in the last video, I just kind of was talking about how big it is, because it's huge. And there's a couple of the features in it, because even though it's from 1978, it's still got some cool things on it. And if you watched the last video, you would notice that the hood emblem wasn't on. It is now, and it springs back just like it should. It was actually pretty easy to put on, so that was cool. And with it on, I just think this car looks so much better. It just looks so much more like a Cadillac should. So right up front, one of the features is actually the hood ornament, because it isn't just stationary. It does actually have a spring, so in case you tried to accidentally hit it or something, it springs right back, no problem at all. It just looks, that front view just looks so much better with this hood emblem on. Getting into the interior here, as I mentioned last time, we got the ultra plush seats, and they are power seats. So you got forward, back, front up, front down, recline up, and recline back. So that's pretty cool. Now getting in here, heavy door. And right along the door here, we got the controls for your driver mirror, and then right behind the steering wheel here, we have the controls for the passenger mirror. So that's pretty cool. Now also along the door here, you got your controls for your windows, your power windows in this, for your driver window, passenger window, which both work just as they should. You also have your power locks right here. So we got unlock, lock, so that works good. And one of just the things that I find to be the coolest is your little thermometer on your window out here, and showing it's a bit above 90, which it definitely is. I am sweating my ass off sitting in this car right now. Starting on the left side of the dash over here, we got our wipers, and they do work. I just don't have any blades for them right now, so I don't want to scratch the windshield. You can also wash the windshield as well. And come down here, you got your headlights. Pull it out for your headlights. All right, push it back in. They all work. Also got auto dimming off. You got far, so you can focus your headlights. Or you got max lights off. Now, if you can see down here, right where my foot is, that is actually how you turn on the high beam. So you press it and click for high beams, click it out to turn them off. Got the hood latch, got your parking brake, all that stuff works good. So still on the left side of the dash here, you got your climate control here, and go from all the way down, all the way up. And yes, it does have air conditioning, but no, it does not currently work, so that's something I'd have to fix as well. Then you got different settings for your air. You got economy, low, high, bi-level. You also got your cruise control here with off, cruise, and auto. And I've tried to use it on the road. I set it to cruise and then press this button because that's auto resume and cruise set. And I've tried it on cruise and auto, and yet neither one of them works. So either it doesn't work or I'm doing it wrong. So if someone does know how to properly use the cruise control on this and can help me out, that'd be great. Another thing over here, this one's for the cruise control. Your other stock over here is for your telescopic wheel, which it's kind of hard to do with one hand. So you can move the steering wheel up and down, get it wherever you need to be, and then it let go, locks into place. So something else on the steering column here is this button right here. Now, that was kind of interesting to me because on all the cars I've ever driven, the hazard button's in the center somewhere and it's a big red triangle. Back in 78, it was just this button here, and press it in. And so this light doesn't actually work, even for the turn signal. And I'm not sure why that one's not flashing right now. Let's see if it works when you get out. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't flashing before, but now all of a sudden you open the door and now it starts to flash. So hazards are on right now. It's just the light on this side doesn't work. Then turn them off. You just pull it out and then turn off. And then you got your classic turn signal, left turn, right turn. You may be able to hear it, maybe not. It's kind of quiet, but there's just no light. All the outside lights work. Then you come over, you got your tachometer, you got your gear selector, and if you notice, yeah, I've driven about 200 miles since the last video, so it's not just gonna sit in a garage for the rest of its life. I'm actually gonna drive it. You got your rear defogger, which you just toggle on. That tells you it's on, and it is actually the electric defogger. If you can see that, it's got the lines going across, so that should defog that window pretty quickly if it ever needs to do that. And as I mentioned last time, you got the antenna, and I haven't tried to put it up yet because I'm afraid it's going to break, and I don't want to take a whole bunch of things apart just to try to get it to work. And then in the center here, you got your radio, and this knob turns it on, and then this little piece back here is the left speakers, and can give you more on the left speaker. This little piece back here is for the right, if you want more on your right speaker. And then this knob on the right side of the radio is how you actually tune the radio. And without the antenna, you really can't hear too much, so I'm going to keep that basically off for now. Then behind the radio, which I recently figured out actually, back in there, you got yourself an 8-track player. And we do have an 8-track in here, Frank Sinatra Greatest Hits Volume 2. It is a little beat up, but let's see if it works. Yes it does. So this left one, other than volume, and as I showed last time, we got our first of 4 cigarette lighters with ashtrays right under the radio. And yes, it does work. I've tried it and it gets hot. Then you got your vents. You got under here is open and close, and then in the vent itself is side to side, and then you can push them yourself. So if the AC did work, you could direct it exactly how you wanted it. On the top in the middle, you got the clock, which is another thing that doesn't work. And then all along here would be all your warning lights and all your stuff, like tell you that your parking brake's on. Like, see, just put the parking brake on, it tells you that's on. It tells you when the security system's on. Now, because the key is in the ignition, the security system is going off, and you see the light right there. It also says stop engine temperature, but once you close the door, they both go off. So I don't think the engine temperature is really hot. It hasn't overheated on me yet, but so let's hope it stays that way. You also got a fasten seatbelt sign. Yeah, a lot of warning lights up there. And then as we move over, you got the glove box here. Went through it all. Right there is something that I thought was pretty cool. That's how you release the trunk, which it did just release, and I thought it didn't work, so that's cool. But yeah, if you want to open the trunk, you got to open the glove box first, so it keeps it kind of secure. You got your dash light under here that's broken, but it's an easy fix. Should probably get that soon. And as we keep coming over to the right, you got another vent. And then along the door here, you got your second cigarette lighter with an ashtray, which that also works. You also got power. You can control your power windows, and you can lock the car from this side as well. Which lock, unlock, and that works. Also, something that's not really, I don't know how much of a feature it is, but right here underneath, we got a removable little storage bin or trash can or something. So I thought that was actually pretty cool because you don't see that in many cars anymore, or at all actually. I've never seen it until this one. So something about the passenger door over here that's actually pretty cool is there's more than one door handle. You got this one which opens the door. Alright. Close it with your nice wood handle. But if you're sitting in the back, there's also a secondary handle, so you can open it from the back, which That also works. So this car was so big that they actually had to put 2 door handles on the passenger door. Now, getting in the back of this car is actually quite easy. I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that, but it folds down without having to press any buttons. Let's get in the back here. One step in, and you're in. Pull the seat back up, and you're good to go. Now, I'm about 5'10", and I wouldn't say it's uncomfortable, but there's definitely not too much room back here, despite this car being as big as it is. So back here, you got a light on either side. Turns on when the doors open. You also got your coat hangers on either side in the back. Most people buying this probably had a suit to hang up, so we could easily hang 2 suits up. You got your cigarette lighter number 3 with ashtray. And over on the other side, cigarette lighter number 4 with ashtray. And just like I mentioned in the last video, you got lights back here to tell you your brakes are working. So right now the brakes are on. Take your foot off. They're off. On. Off. On. So now that I'm sitting back here, the front seat is actually locked into position. So that's not going down anywhere. And it all is controlled by this little latch right here. To get out of the back seat, it's actually quite easy. You got your latch, fold that down. Yourself some room, grab your door handle specifically for the rear, open it up, and easily, or not so easily, get on out. As I had mentioned in the last video, it is a power closed trunk, but it's also a power open trunk. Now, I had pressed the button earlier that was in the glove box there, so it you can see there easily, just popped it open a little. So all you gotta do is 2 fingers, open it up, and it comes back down. Just press, and it closes itself, or it latches itself, excuse me. And another thing that I mentioned in the last video, you got your gas fill right under there into the 27-gallon tank. This thing is not fuel efficient in the slightest. Another thing around back here that you might notice is you got these things, little bumperettes. And those were for the new safety regulations, and also so if you hit something as you're backing up, you don't damage the bumper. It's just those little rubber bumperettes. And along the front, there's actually 2 more. I forgot to point out. 4 if you count the 2 on the end, but you got 2 there and the 2 on that side. So you could accidentally hit a trash can, back into a pole, well, right on the bumperette, but good. If you accidentally hit something, you wouldn't damage the whole bumper. And even the center of the bumper up here in the front, that's all rubber, so if you did hit something, nothing's going to get dented or too badly scratched as long as you didn't hit it too hard. It just says Eldorado on the front hood. You don't really see that on cars anymore where they say the name of the car on the front. Everything's kind of on the back now. So on the outside of the car now, I got all the lights turned on, so I'll go through them real quick. Your outer light here on either side, so this one right here, that is your regular headlight. Your inner is your high beam. Down below is your signal or your hazard light. I got the hazards on now. That's why they're flashing so quick. And as you can see, both of them on the outside do actually work. Come along the side. Got another light here. That's working. Up here behind the window, you got another light. That's also working. Back here, probably the coolest light on the whole car. It says Eldorado. I don't know any cars today that have the name of the car on the light itself. That's working. Come around back. Got your 2 tail lights. The hazards flashing, they both work. Around the other side, you got your other Eldorado light working good. Got your other light here that's working good. And your last light on the outside up on the front. So that was something I kind of lucked out on, that every light on the outside works. I just had to replace a couple bulbs. We got the Web Cadillac, Jenkintown, PA. Leather keychain, pretty cool. But you actually have two keys for the car. And anyone who drove a car from this time knows exactly what the keys are. But me having never driven a car from this time had no idea. So you got the circular key with GM and Cadillac stamped on it, and that is for your locks, so your door lock outside, and also the trunk lock in the back. You unlock it with that, and then the square key, also stamped with GM and Cadillac, is specifically for the ignition. So that's been pretty much every feature on my '78 Eldorado. And I know there's maybe some that I missed, so if there are, please point them out to me. Because even though I've driven this car about 200 miles, I'm still learning about it. And I know there's people out there that know way more about it than I do. So if you want to share your knowledge with me, I would greatly appreciate it. So if you like the video, make sure you like the video. And in the next video, I'm going to try to get shots of it going down the road, because it really does just float down the road and you can feel it when you're in it. It really is just so nice to drive in this thing. So thank you for watching, guys.